Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. January 4th, 2025, and we are live here at News Talk 830 WCCO, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., downtown Minneapolis. Appreciate you joining us, whichever social media platform you are on. In studio today, we've got Mr. Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, and myself, Ryan O'Neill, the Minnesota Real Estate Team RE/MAX Advantage Plus, Brad Sanford, Good Man Farmers Insurance. Always a pleasure to see you. Mike, what do you got for us here today, buddy?
Well, kind of boring on the interest rate front, pretty flat here. We'll talk about that a little bit here. We'll talk about the activity over the last 2 days, pretty much exactly what we predicted there. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And then we'll get into some market stats like we normally do.
Very nice. And a lot going on in the insurance world there, young man.
Well, Mike kind of stole my thunder there. I was going to say, same thing going on. Rates are going up. Insurance rates are increasing. You know, everybody's buying homes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little boring, but I got some helpful things for this weather. I feel kind of bad because maybe my topic brought this cold weather. So,
Yeah.
freezing pipes.
We'll blame you.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll blame you, Brad.
Hey, huge favor to ask. Can you grab me one of those headphones too, right over there, as we please, and we get ready to go live.
Now, what you're saying.
And we're live here on the show. Thank you, everybody. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. It is 2025, January 4th, 2025. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mr. Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill, the Minnesota Real Estate Team RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Appreciate you joining us. You can comment at any point, 612, or call or text us at any point, 612-294-6949, 612-294-6949. Mike, good morning to you there, buddy.
Hey, good morning, Ryan.
Good to see you. You made it through the new year?
Made it through the new year. Yep. Made it up here, too. It's nice and cold out. I rolled my polar bear up here.
I know.
He loves this weather, so he wants to get out and get some exercise and stuff. So I rode him down to the show this morning.
Hey, we got to welcome on our friend Brad Sanford with Farmers Insurance. As I was setting up for the show, there's always a little bit of setup time because we stream it on social media and setting up the camera and different settings and whatnot. I hadn't looked at my phone and it had been about 10 minutes. And Brad's like standing outside waiting. It's 1 degree. So I get down there and he's doing like almost calisthenics on me when I came to get you.
I was getting close to using the bus stop. They have a heater in there. So did you park your polar bear in that heater? Because that's
No, he likes it cold out there. He's just he's out there
I don't have
out in the open.
I want a polar bear.
Yeah, a little polar bear. We're glad you're here, though. Glad you're here. You always elevate the discussion. Obviously, when it comes to real estate, insurance, super important. So we appreciate you as always.
And I feel a little guilty because my topic is about freezing pipes, and it's freezing out there. Probably freezing pipes right now. So
Very timely.
yes,
Very timely. First section of the show, we always do like to do a real estate and a mortgage update. Again, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. We are live again here every Saturday down at WCCO. No dumb questions at all. Mike, we talked a little last week, kind of a recap of 2024, 2023. The big question is, of course, interest rates, what they're projecting. What are you seeing on your end, and where are things at, kind of from a mortgage update?
If we just look at this last week here, interest rates were flat. Really no movement at all on interest rates. We're hovering just around that 7%, so some are just below the 7, some are just over the 7, but in general, we're just hovering right now around that 7% range. I do think they come down. Are they going to go down, and are we going to see, 5% flat this year? I don't think so. I don't think we will. Could we brush 5.5 or 5.75 a couple times this year? I think we could see that, but I don't know if it's going to go down that level and stay steady. I think our norm for 2025 is going to be hovering closer to around that 6.25, give or take a little bit. And then, we'll have some spurts where it's a little bit higher. We'll have some spurts where it's a little bit lower. but I just don't think we're quite at the level where we're going to get down into the 5s and stay there.
Hey, had a nice text message come in. And again, you can text us or call us at any point. Just said, Happy New Year. Thank you to Mike, Jack Dickinson, and the whole team for getting us into an amazing home last year.
Oh, sweet.
Very nice. Nice work there, Mike Overson.
Well, yeah, we do what we can do when we can do it, Brian. So love helping people.
Yeah, we really appreciate you listening to the show. That's actually what we do. We help people buy and sell homes. So again, you have questions, comments, thoughts. We have a top agent on the Minnesota real estate team, wherever you are listening to this, all over the state of Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. And again, we've worked with Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans and Luminate Bank. By the way, they are a local bank. Mike, I think sometimes agents forget how nice it is to have a company that is not only just your traditional lender, but a bank. Maybe talk about that. Why is that beneficial to agents, but then also to their clients?
Yeah. So when you look at mortgage companies and then banks, so mortgage companies have all mortgage type of stuff. So that's your standard conventional VA, FHA loans, things like that. When you have the bank side of things coupled with the mortgage side of things, the bank side brings construction loans, portfolio loans. And those portfolio loans are loans that we keep on our books. So we get to make our own rules. And so if you're outside of that traditional box, as far as a borrower goes, where maybe you can't qualify for your standard conventional or FHA loans, now we can look at our portfolio loans that we have in house, and we might have something for you there because again, we can kind of make our own guidelines, and if it makes sense to lend to someone, then we'll certainly do it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, especially if you're buying a condo or a townhome, there's so many things to be aware of regarding insurance, regarding homeowners associations, and it affects your ability to get a loan. And I think people don't always realize that, Mike, when they're buying a condo or townhome or selling one for that matter. It's not, there's a lot of different moving parts. And that, again, I've seen a lot of situations where working with a local bank like you guys can make a difference.
Yep. HOAs that's a big deal right now. A lot of kind of weird, quote unquote, weird stuff going on with the HOAs. The other thing too, like unique properties like barn dominiums and things like that. A lot of times barn dominiums won't fit into that standard conventional or FHA or VA box, and they won't lend on those. That's where we go to our portfolio loan products. And then we can lend on those types of properties.
Yeah, before the first break, wanted to hit on just an update from a number of homes here in the Twin Cities for sale. New listings are down 1%, so 1% less new properties came on the market. There were 477 pending sales, increased slightly, up 3%. There were 605 accepted purchase agreements, and then the overall inventory is up. Let me think, up just a little bit, very slightly, 7,832. Still very historically low, really historically low number. And Mike, I know with that nice text that we had come in, again, John, we appreciate you, and I know you enjoyed working with John Clark.
Yeah, John and his family moved here, I believe, from Michigan, if I remember correctly. They moved here to the Minnesota area, and so it was great working with them. Super nice family. They were one of those clients where the first time I spoke with John, you could tell he's type A personality, and those types of personalities typically have like all their docs in order and stuff,
which is great. I love that. Yeah. So I knew right off the bat, first time talking with John, I'm like, sweet, he's going to have his stuff together. And that's exactly how it went too. It was very smooth. And a lot of it was on his part by just being prepared with documents and stuff. Yeah. We appreciate you listening to the show, John. And pleasure to work with you and your family. Welcome to Minnesota. We're at the first break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us at any point. We'll be back after the break. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hey, Brad, what a guy. You get me headphones right before we're going live.
That's what I'm here for, right? What a tribute to you, right? I mean,
yeah.
and you guys, your group, the guy gets a house for you guys, you do the loan, and he follows your radio show. That's very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Good. Yeah,
it is. It's always a pleasure. And Mike, again, you and your team just doing a ton of hard work. But again, that local bank presence is important.
Yeah, it's good. I love my team, and then we have very good payouts on our checking and savings. So our checking account right now is paying 2.02% APY for a checking account, and I think our savings account's at just over 4% right now. So
Okay.
we're paying out pretty good on the checking and savings stuff too. So
Became a banker.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, don't hesitate to interrupt us. You have a comment, question, thought, anything at all that you would like us to discuss. Happy to do so. Did have again a comment just regarding multiple offers. Are we starting to see any multiple offers? Not a lot, I would say, but I talked to 2 agents on the Minnesota real estate team this week that were wanting some help on tips for their multiple offer situation, Mike.
So I have a client right now. They are pre-approved. They got a purchase agreement on a new construction house, but it's contingent upon their current house selling.
Yeah.
So they've had their house on the market for 3 weeks. I literally texted him yesterday, just seeing how the sale was going. He's like, had a lot of showings, but no offer on the table. I texted him back. I said, my gut tells me you're going to have an offer within the next week, because Thursday and Friday this week were busy. It was, it was like the New Year's ended. Now people are back and they're ready. You can tell.
Yes.
And so I was like, with how busy it's been the last 2 days, I know all those people kind of just sitting in the weeds watching, they're going to come out and they're going to start playing the game. And sure enough, he texted me this morning. He's like, offer came in.
Wow.
So it's coming. Multiple offers are coming.
Wow.
That activity is coming. It's not a surprise to us because we knew exactly that's what was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that it is interesting. I noticed too yesterday that the world was back. The real estate world.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I can tell when I put my head down at the end of the workday it was about 8 a.m. to about 9 p.m. and I laid down on the couch. I'm like, yep, real estate's back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
You can just tell people are active. People are out. Questions, comments, thoughts. So, and that's expected. I would think in the insurance world, do you ever get, I suppose you get a little lull this time of year?
We do, always in the winter. I was going to ask you guys, the trip around the sun seemed like it went a little faster this last year. We're already 4 days into this trip, and I'm wondering, did it go fast for you guys, or was it slow because of the activity slowing down?
No, it was still fast
It
for
just
me.
went way too fast.
Yes.
We're spinning around that sun just a little too fast, I think.
Yeah.
So multiple offers. It will be, I think, as we get into the spring though, with limited inventory. Again, we're at, let me see. Yeah, 7,800. I mean, that is just historically super, super low again.
And even if Realtor.com is correct, inventory is going to go up 11.7% in 2025. That's only another, 800 homes, 900 homes
Yeah,
on the inventory. That's not a lot either.
yeah, totally not a lot.
But here's what happens in the spring, right? So we'll see like our week to week inventory go up. Like, right now, how many did we have go in the last week?
It was, let me look at the number.
600.
Yeah, 477.
477 went on
Not
the
a
last
lot.
week.
This is the entire Twin Cities metro area.
Back half of February, March, we'll see 1,500 homes come on in a week.
Yeah.
Right? 3 times as many. But then 3 times as many sales happen. They get gobbled up like that. So
Right.
it's like your inventory doesn't go anywhere because as it comes on, it's coming right off.
Here we go. We're going live on air. Thanks everybody for joining us. Hey, welcome back to the second part of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you joining us here. This is a local real estate show, and we love being on WCCO. Wherever you're catching us, appreciate you and your time, and I hope your families are having a good start to this new year. It's 2025 already, and again, every week we discuss all things real estate related, mortgage related, home insurance related, and I did want to hit on a listing that we had. Mr. Jack Dickinson has one in Prior Lake. This one is 6326 White Drive in Prior Lake for $420,000. They just had a $10,000 price improvement. 4-bed, 2-bath. It's got new carpet upstairs, open floor plan, lots of natural light, big windows, and it's a bigger lot for privacy. You've also got the Prior Lake School District. That is 6326 White Drive in Prior Lake for $420,000. Mike, that Prior Lake area is really kind of becoming a demand area.
Absolutely. And a $420,000 price point, I don't imagine that that thing's probably going to stay around too long.
Yeah, what's interesting, with real estate, they always talk about location, location, location. And, over time, it's interesting to me what cities or what parts of the Twin Cities become the hot city or the demand city. I would say oftentimes it's of course, related to crime. It's related to school district. It's related to convenience in amenities. I don't know, Mike, Brad, thoughts on that at all?
Yeah, I know, the city that I live in, Blaine, it's up to 70,000 people now, and I know that it was one of the fastest growing cities for a long time, and Woodbury was one of the fastest growing cities. So, yeah, I can see how those trends happen where you find areas that are attractive, have nice amenities around them, and they sell quicker than other things, like Prior Lake, Lakeville, that area.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get on the outskirts anywhere. I mean, you're going to start looking at like Ham Lake and places like that that are out just a little bit further. They're going to be booming, if they're not already, they're going to definitely be growing. They're going to be the next basically fastest growing cities, right? It's just the next tier out where as soon as you get a little bit more development stuff, they're going to be really cranking there.
Yeah, I had another text message come in, said, "Hey guys, love the show. Any advice looking out of state for a new home, i.e. Florida, Tennessee, etc.? It's overwhelming figuring out which areas to really look at. Warmer weather and state income tax are appealing." Dan, a homeowner in St. Paul. Dan, thanks for listening to the show. Mike, you have any initial thoughts on that?
I think your first step, I'd put a lot of time into finding the right real estate agent down there. So getting a personal referral, reaching out to Ryan here. I know Ryan has connections down there as well. But that local real estate agent that knows that area down there, it will be a huge help for you. Doing virtual showings, trying to figure out exactly what you want. If schools are important to you, then they'll be able to tell you, okay, here's the school districts that you're going to want to be in. If schools aren't important to you, maybe you don't have kids and that's not on your radar, they'll figure out what you're looking for and what you want, and then they're going to be, your eyes down in that area.
I would just say too, it's really important. One of the benefits, in my opinion, of being with a really good national real estate brand is that you develop friendships with people around the country. So I've been with Remax for 22 years. And you get to know folks, good people around the country who can help you. And so I think what I would recommend, and of course we're happy to help you, John, is to chat with you and to make those personal connections to kind of the best of the best and agents from those areas. I would say Florida, within our family, kind of our extended O'Neill family, we've had a little property, a little condo down in Florida and have really loved it. Love going down there. Don't get down there as much as I'd like to, but friends and family get down there a lot. My dear sister Mary's going next week. And I don't know, Florida is, it's just, especially again, as you get a little further south, that consistent warmth and heat, the 70s right now, you pull it up 70s, 80s. So I'm partial personally to Florida. I know I've got a couple friends who are down in Arizona, love Arizona for a variety of reasons. Texas, some people who are, so I think it depends if it's kind of a vacation home or if it's, more like a second home or more of moving your family too, guys.
And weather
Yeah.
is a big thing, right? I played football in Missouri, so the Tennessee area is kind of attractive.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have a lot of weather things going on there. You've got tornadoes and you got mind-numbing cold up here. You have hurricanes down south in Florida, Texas, you've got the heat. So all those things got to take into consideration, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Ryan, you have agents that are on the team that are down in Florida, licensed down there. And so that would be a good spot, right? That's a good connection there because we know them, obviously. They're very good at what they do. And they are in different parts of Florida. So depending on, if Florida is going to be the location, whether it's southern, middle, or northern, you got someone on your team that can help.
Yeah, I had a comment come in. What are you guys seeing with commission rates since the big changes back in September? It'd be interesting to hear from a lending perspective. Really, again, in the real estate world, there were some changes. There was the big national lawsuit that was settled. now, and there's some new paperwork, there's some new conversations. I would say it's been very much kind of business as usual in the sense that buyers and sellers are still working with real estate agents. They are still paying a commission. And often, in many cases, I think it's a function of our market right now being a little slower for sellers, that commission rates have stayed where they're at. And in some price ranges and areas, commissions have gone up slightly. Partly because, again, there's a little more marketing needed to be done, a little more expertise, a little more guidance versus just let's throw that thing on the market and you get 40 offers on it, guys.
Yeah, there's been almost no change. I have noticed almost no difference at all on our end on the lending side with the changes to the commission. And to be honest with you, it's exactly what I expected. I didn't think that was going to be a big mover for the market one way or the other. It literally has been business as normal, and it hasn't caused any issues. And all these concerns that agents had when the news came out and like going into it, I mean, we don't hear any of those concerns anymore because it is literally business as usual.
First time home buyer. How much do I need for FHA, Mike?
3.5% down.
3.5%. Insurance. What do you think, Brad? Insurance. You're buying a $300,000 property. I suppose it's hard to get an idea what that is.
It is. And one of the changes that you're seeing in the insurance industry is carriers are looking at your previous claims rate. So if you're one of those people that claims everything, you have a claim that you have a deductible of $1,000 and you claim something for $1,500. They're now taking that into consideration and maybe not offering insurance to you for your next property. So the insurance industry is taking a little bit of a change.
Yeah, it is a lot of changes. And Mike, from a financing standpoint, I feel that you guys, the insurance and mortgage, talk or need to talk on almost every file, because this past year I can think of so many situations where problems arose and it was insurance and mortgage related, usually again townhomes and condos.
Yeah, association stuff by far is probably the one thing that has changed the most, changed the landscape of lending over the last, if we say 15 to 18 months, roughly, with some of those different rules and stuff coming in. So having a good insurance agent that can, work with you on, hey, we need to lower the cost in order to make this thing work. Can we, what are our options? Can we, raise the deductible? Can we do this? Can we do that to help out with all that? Or on the association side of things, if the master association policy doesn't provide the coverage to meet the loan requirements, then we're going to the insurance agent, the personal insurance agent for the borrower to say, hey, can they add something to their policy to kind of bridge that gap to get us to the finish line?
Yeah, comment came in saying, should I always get an owner's policy on a property that I'm looking to flip? So in other words, if you're buying it to fix and flip, you can get an owner's policy of title insurance, which protects your interest. I'm a big believer in always getting it. I think there can be mortgages, issues, different things that you find out after closing. Mike, aren't you a big fan of owner's policies too?
Yeah, I would get it, especially on a purchase. The owner's policy, depending on how much you put down, if you're buying a place, you're putting 10 or 20% down. The cost of that policy is only a few $100, and it covers you for the entire time that you own the property, and then even sometimes after closing, if you sell it to someone else and something comes up after that. So for a few $100, yeah, you can sleep at night, just pay it and be done.
Hey, we're at the halfway point. After the break, we're going to dive in with Brad a little bit more to talk insurance related, talk a little bit about freezing pipes as well. Have another listing to hit. Miss Sue Marty with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. She's got one. This is a condo, 209 East 8th Street, Unit 406 for $299,900. And it's St. Paul. It's at the Dakota. It's St. Paul's premier condo, updated, move-in ready. It's got a top floor with a view over the park, just blocks behind CHA Field. Got hardwood floors, granite countertops, maple cabinets, and it's a 2-bed, 2-bath. Lots of closet space on that one. Not a lot in the Twin Cities under $300,000. So be sure to check that out. 209 East 8th Street, Unit 406. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Not a lot of deals under 300.
No,
Not in this area, right?
no.
And to piggyback on that, I'm an insurance agent, so any product that mitigates risk, I'm for it.
Right, yeah,
So
right.
owner's title policy, you have to absolutely get. Yep.
Brad, what do you think? What are you seeing in the insurance world moving forward? Are you seeing still a lot of increases in premiums, a lot of unknowns, that kind of thing?
One of the things carriers are doing to offset the increase in premiums is they are increasing your deductible on wind hail.
Yeah.
So before, if you had a deductible of 1,000, 1,500, it was all perils, right? So wind, hail, theft, all of that. Now they're making that wind hail deductible 1 or 2%. So it's taking some of the onus off of the carrier, putting it onto the insured, but also keeping the rates kind of in the area where they wanted to keep them.
Do you ever see rates going down? Like,
Yes.
No, I have.
just in the future, like, because, like, do you ever think that, like, we'll get to a certain point where insurance companies will kind of like catch up on the back end, and then maybe actually premiums actually might even lower?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I said this on the radio probably 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. 6 of the last 7 years, carriers in this state have taken losses. So they're trying to recoup those right now, right?
Right,
Last year, 2023, 2024, they're trying to recoup some of those losses. You add on inflation, you add on Mike wanting to get more to repair your home and that kind of stuff. It really just kind of boosted the rates up. Everything will settle.
Yeah.
We'll see them start to come back down. I've seen auto rates come down in the renewals that are coming up in February because we always send out notifications 60 days in advance. And so I'm seeing a lot of things coming down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a challenge. You just think about, again, and we can talk a little bit on air about it. They guess what the average age of a first-time home buyer is right now.
The average age of a first-time home
This
buyer.
totally blew my mind.
47.
Wow. What do you think, Mike? You're doing so many deals, loans, first-time home buyer, anybody watching too. What do you think from an age?
I'm gonna guess.
More kids are staying at home now longer.
I'm gonna guess
right?
29.
38. Oh, 38 years old.
Wow.
And the discussion was all about kind of the generation, the millennial generation, not marrying, not having kids, and not purchasing real estate. A lot of folks who are single, and I think a function of that. What made me think about it? I was talking to a friend who is a millennial about it's so hard cost-wise. When you think about that, to have a down payment, to build up any cash reserves, and if you don't have a really solid job, I don't know, it's hard. And maybe I'm overreacting as far as, but it seems like it's more difficult for younger folks, personally.
Our youngest just moved out, so I think my wife is just about done crying right now. But she moved in with her boyfriend, and they bought a home in Schaefer for $340,000. Not less than 300 in the Twin Cities, not less than 300 up by
Up in
Chicago
Schaefer,
City.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, it's and you're young and you just got a job, just got out of college, or you're finishing up college. You got to pay your college bills. I see why kids are staying home until they're 26, 27.
Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. 38 years old. To me, that's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, I wonder, like, how many of your deals were FHA? Are there many people using an FHA loan, 3.5% down?
No, there's not.
Why is that?
Because you can do conventional with 3% down.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And you can do FHA with 3.5. Well, you get in a multiple offer situation, right? And it's like your real estate agent's telling you, you can make an FHA offer, but you're going to be put at a disadvantage. So can we do conventional 3% down versus FHA with 3.5? And try to get that conventional offer on the table to make it look better. So
You're
yeah.
almost dead at 38. I mean, you're halfway there.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
that was the life expectancy.
Hey, thank
back
you
then.
all for
Right.
joining us.
18
Hope your
minutes,
weekend's
yeah.
going well. Again, we're live here from 10 to 11, and we're going on to WCCO right now. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Hope your weekend's going well. We appreciate you listening. Hopefully, we provide a little information, a little value, and a little fun to your Saturday mornings. And we were just talking about 38 years old is right now the average age for a first-time home buyer, talking about that generation. Not as many folks having children, not as many people getting married, not as many people buying homes. And I think a function of it, Brad, we were talking about costs and will insurance costs come down, is just the overall expense of the world right now. And unless you've got a really solid job, it's hard. It is hard. Again, maybe you're working, somewhere and making 17 an hour or 18 or 20 or whatever the number is. It can be very hard to get ahead, guys.
Well, I kind of go the other way. So my mind starts thinking, it's like, okay,
Yeah, that's good.
If the first time home buyer is 38, right? There's less people buying down there. Does that create more opportunity? Like, is there an opportunity there for those people now getting into the game? You know what I mean?
You see why this guy does well? What someone looks at as a negative, he says, look, as a positive.
And
That's a good quality.
I was a banker in a previous life, and there was always the argument about the first-time home buyer and the cost of the home for them to get into and get their own place, and that we had to mitigate that. We had to make sure that it didn't go too high. And now we're seeing that first-time purchases are in the 300,000 range. Back when I was a banker, I think the average first-time home buyer price was like 125. So, I mean, it's really, really, really changed.
Mike,
Prices have gone up.
Yeah, I had a good question come in that just says they had read about a couple who wanted to buy a home, but he had a substantial amount of student loans. They weren't able to get accepted for a mortgage. Does having a lot of student loans hurt your chances of being approved for a mortgage?
So it all comes down to your debt to income ratio. So the debt to income ratio is what lenders use to figure out how much a loan someone can get approved for. It's calculated by the monthly income coming in and the monthly payments that are going out. When it comes to student loans, there's typically a monthly payment that is being made there. So that monthly payment that's going out will then reduce, how much someone can get approved for on the loan side of things. So it's kind of a loaded question because it's a little tough to explain, over the air, something like this.
Should we sit down and just?
Yeah, can we share our screen with the folks? I'll pull up a mortgage calculator. I'll show you how this works now.
That's what Mike will do. I mean,
right? But yeah, so just in general, right? Monthly payments going out will reduce how much of a loan you can qualify for. So the more student loan debt that you have, the higher the monthly payment going out, the less loan amount you'll get approved for.
So in general, the ratios for FHA are 49 or 29-41.
FHA lets you go up to 45 on the first one and 56 on the back end.
Wow. Okay,
what does that mean?
So the housing ratio is the first number. So when you talk about debt to income ratios, the housing debt to income ratio is the first number. So the housing payment that you have, FHA will allow 45% of your gross monthly income coming in to go towards that housing payment, which includes the principal and interest on the loan, plus the taxes and insurance and the PMI, everything that needs to be paid, to own that house.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
As I say, then the total debt to income ratio takes the housing payment plus any sort of payments that show up on your credit report. So auto loans, student loans, credit card payments. That's what that back number includes. And so then each loan type has the different maximums that they allow. FHA allows 45 on the front, 56.5 on the back.
Yeah, just had a comment from someone said, guys, enough of the real estate. Can you please talk about the Vikings?
Go Vikes.
Hey, at least you're honest. We appreciate that. I am a diehard Vikings fan. And how about this? The two dear, hardworking gentlemen joining me today, both were college football players. That's pretty cool, you guys. I might tell people.
Yeah, this is bowl week. I should be playing in a bowl right now.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So I was, so I played at South Dakota State.
What position?
Mighty Jackrabbits. I was a linebacker there.
Oh man, I bet you were tough.
No, I don't know. Maybe tough enough, I guess, to play. Yeah. But
So you play all 4 years?
Yeah, I was actually there for 5 because I redshirted the first year. Well, actually 6 because I medical redshirted the second year when I got hurt. So yeah, so I actually got 6 years there. I did get my master's, so it's not like I was stringing out my bachelor's degree. So I was there for a total of 7 years, got my master's and everything there, and then was actually played for 6 years.
Brad, how about you, bud?
I was a wide receiver. I had to block people like him.
Yeah.
Wow. And how did you play all years?
Yeah, all the years, yep.
Okay, I did not play. I was a terrible athlete, but I love sports. And thankfully, I got admitted to, I had a brother, my brother Tim went to Notre Dame. Having a brother there, I think helped my odds. Got into Notre Dame, loved going to the games. By the way, they're in the Final Four.
Yeah, they are.
Notre Dame's in the
Absolutely.
Final Four. And I'll tell you that, yeah, not to go on a tangent, but for young people now, here's the thing. Just talking to buddies and their kids, there is no way I know right now that I would have gotten into school because how difficult it's become for a lot of these kids. I have a very good friend who, you know, his grandson was the top of everything and didn't get into a couple of his really desired schools. So it's super competitive out there, guys.
Well, going back to the Vikings comment there, I was just thinking like it's like Sam Darnold is kind of like a fix and flip, right? The Vikings picked up this player, right, and got him in the right position, and look at the year he's having, and look at the payout that he's probably going to get next year, right? I kind of look at it like someone going out there buying a home and kind of just rehabbing it, right? And now this thing is you know, you're going to make some money on there. So kudos to him. He's having a great year.
Hey, just a quick thought, Brad, again, from a fix and flip, you can actually do that even in this market. I have some friends who own a real estate company who that's all they do is they find distressed properties. So the key with fixing and flipping, 3 keys: buying it correctly, not paying too much. Second key is how much you're going to put into it. Don't
Over improve.
And then third, what will it sell for? A lot of people think with this market, you can't find anything at all. The reality is you need a really good agent who can help you door knock, send letters, do all these non-traditional means of finding a property. You can absolutely do it. I have a good buddy right now who's fixing and flipping 2 properties. Both of them are, again, very good opportunities.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, for all the Viking players, Wild players, Twins players, we have Ryan O'Neal, Mike Overson, Brad Sanford, will take all your purchases.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's your Viking stuff, right?
Actually, speaking of that, I have a couple friends in the industry who have done a really good job at developing those relationships with those companies.
Very nice.
Where you would, you think about it. You got the Sam Darnold moving to the Twin Cities.
Yep.
He talks to whoever on the team who says, "Look, who is your guy?"
Player personnel,
Yeah.
takes care of them.
Yeah, and so it's all about. I always say with our team, it's all about relationships. It's about people. It's not selling real estate. It's people. Meet people, build relationships, take care of people. That's my deep thought, Mike.
Yep. That's the number one thing you say at all your trainings, Brian. And if the agents that go to your trainings, if they don't have that ingrained in their head, they were not listening. Because literally every training, that's what it's all about. It's about the people. It's not about the real estate. It's about the people.
Yeah, it's about the people. Hey, real quick before the break, and then we're going to dive in more with Brad. He's waited so patiently as we ramble about the Vikings here. Melissa Martinez, great agent on the Minnesota real estate team, Remax Advantage Plus. She has a high-rise condo as well, 78 10th Street East, number 1007. And the price point on this is $100,700. $100,700. It's got great amenities in the building: an indoor pool, sauna, jacuzzi, rooftop sport court. Parking space is included. You got a private ramp entrance, 24-hour surveillance, on-site management, round-the-clock security. It is close to the Capitol. Theaters, museums, restaurants, coffee shops, Lunds and Byerly's, and it's maintenance-free. No shoveling snow or raking leaves. Check that out, 78 10th Street East, number 100,700, Brad.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
300 square feet.
Yeah, no, very nice property. Be sure to check that one out. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate you as always. Brad, what else, man? Insurance. What else we
Viking
got?
Sports Talk. We turned into Viking Sports Talk.
Yes.
Listenership went up. Actually, our listeners' number of viewers.
We should probably take a poll of what people think it's going to be the turnout for the game.
At the
It's
end,
a night
yeah.
game tomorrow night.
We
right?
should.
Yeah.
Hey, what are your predictions, folks? We got a
Yeah.
lot of folks watching right now. What do you think? The Vikes going to win tomorrow? I definitely have a prediction on that. Feel free to comment too. What do you think?
Really?
Yeah. What do you guys think?
With our heart or with our betting mind?
Either one.
My heart, I want the Vikes to win.
Yeah.
By
Betting
20.
mind?
Betting mind, I would take Detroit.
Ah, okay, Mike?
It's tough because it's in Detroit, but Detroit's defense is banged up. Like the first time we played them, I was actually at the game.
Yeah.
So we went to the game here, went against Detroit. Obviously a very close game all the way to the end,
I don't remember getting a call.
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
sorry.
yeah.
Yep, sorry.
Hello.
So I look at that. That was at home. It was early in the season. Both teams were undefeated at that point, if I remember correctly. Or no, Detroit might have lost maybe to the
Yeah,
Chiefs
they
or
had one
something like
loss.
that.
Yeah.
It's tough because it's in Detroit.
But you hit the nail on the head, though, right?
I think
It is about the defense and how our defense can stop their offense.
Right.
That's really what it's about.
So it's tough. I'm gonna say Vikings by 2.
Yeah, I am actually going to pick the Vikes too. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win by 10.
Ooh,
I think 10
Love
points.
it.
I think it's last game. It was just a 2-point game.
Yeah.
It was a 2-point game. People think, I look back on that 2-point game. Detroit had full strength. They've got a lot of injuries now. I don't know.
Anzalone's not back, which is your old position.
Right.
So yeah.
I just think it's like the team that has the ball last,
Okay.
right, is probably going to win. It's probably going to be a 1-possession game. The team that has it at the end that goes down to kick the field goal or whatever probably wins it at the end. So whoever's got the ball last, I think, probably wins that game.
Hey, Realtor.com came out with the 2025 projections for the real estate industry. Want to share those with you. They talked about overall the economy expanding 2.3%. Home sales, they said, inch higher. They said modest growth, a 1.5 increase over 2024. Home prices rise at a slower rate. Mortgage rates are projected to average 6.3%. What are they now? Close to 7.
Yep, right around 7.
So that's almost 3/4 of a point drop. Inventory rising, 12% increase in inventory. And then new construction homes, 14% more new construction homes.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Wish it was a little bit more inventory increase, but
Oh, right.
yeah.
That is interesting, Mike. New construction, a 14% increase. Are you seeing more new construction files like that?
I mean, not right now.
No?
Spring parade, yes, we will see that. There's so much demand out there that our inventory is low. There's only so much existing inventory that's going to come on the market. Like, how do you get more inventory?
Yeah.
You got to build. You
Build
got to build more houses.
Building more.
So
Yeah, I remember talking to the Mayor Blaine when I ran for office, and he said that every piece of land is sold. It's whether or not that land sells to someone else so they can develop it, right?
right.
They don't want people just sitting on things, and now you're seeing Central Avenue, things are being built on each side.
You need to run for office again. You'd have my vote. This guy, he's such a good-hearted guy. Everybody loves him.
I just got the call yesterday. You're asking me to do it again.
You are.
There you go.
No,
He's-
no,
yes.
no.
Do it.
I can't.
Do
Working with you guys, I can't, man.
You
Way
should.
too busy with
Yeah,
this.
here we go. We're going back live again. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Final segment. We're going to chat more with Brad.
Or if I can stop.
Hey, welcome back to our final segment. Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance, has been waiting so patiently as we talk about the Vikings of all things. Brad, frozen pipes. Talk to us.
That's exciting.
It is, because it's happened to me. It's actually happened to me. I'm curious what you're going to say.
Wow, okay. Well, if we had an alert, I know this is going to be a shock to everybody, but insurance carriers expect you to maintain your home. They expect you to have gutters, push the water away. They
Yeah.
expect you to turn off the outside spigots for water, make sure that you have a shut off on the inside, run all the water out so that the freezing temperatures here don't get to the main water supply. I've had conversations with a lot of my clients. A lot of them don't understand the full ramifications of what a policy involves. They think they're paying $400,000 for a homeowner's policy, and they actually realize that their personal property is coverage. They're covered if there's loss of use, all kinds of that. So this is kind of a helpful tip. This is the beginning of the year. You're looking at all of your expenses. You're looking at what's going on, and understanding that you did the maintenance in the fall. If you do have frozen pipes, the suggestion is to turn off the water. Isolate the problem, and then make sure that you find out where the problem is going, and then slowly turn on the water. And if you hear water running, turn it back off. find that area and take care of it. Now, I would suggest, as an insurance expert, I would suggest you getting a contractor in there and having it done professionally, get it taken care of. Because they're going to be able to mitigate whether there's mold or, all kinds of things. Because you might have had a slow leak, or things like that. So the frozen pipes, the first thing to do is to shut off the main water, which can put you at a disadvantage, obviously, no water to the house.
I was just talking to a friend about insurance, was in a car accident and the importance of that human connection with your agent. And I think obviously that's why you do so well. First of all, you pick up the phone, you call people back. Most importantly, you care. And I think that I was thinking about my friend with the car accident, to have somebody that you can call that's going to guide them through the process. It's complicated, insurance claims, whether it's a car accident, whether it's housing related, God, be terrible with a fire or something like that. That's so important, Brad, to have someone like you in your corner.
Well, I think that's why this radio show is the best thing that could be done, because Mike with mortgages, Ryan with real estate, me with insurance, you could go and you could do all this on your own, but then you have to become an expert in all the things. And you have to have the years of experience that we have that would tell you this is not the right way to go. You don't want to mitigate and not have this kind of coverage.
Yeah.
You're trying to cut corners. This is not the place to cut it. Those types of things. Having a relationship where the association isn't taking, you can't do FHA loans on the association because it's not sold out for a certain percentage. Having a bank that'll do that in a portfolio and then get you refinanced into an FHA. Those are all kinds of things that the personal relationship, having a conversation. I feel like everybody that I insure, they are like a family member. So I always tell them, this is what I would have for my family.
Do you feel that insurance rates will come down at all next year?
I'm on the record.
I'm on the record.
No.
Yeah.
I hope so. I've seen some rates come down. I've seen it some of them come down big. It all depends on the area that you're in, right? If you're in an area that just get like down in the Midwest of the country, there's Tornado Alley, right? If you live in there, your premiums are going to be a little bit higher. If you're in an area in the Twin Cities where we continuously get damage, your rates aren't going to come down. But if you're in a zip code where it gets hit every once in a while, yes, your rates will come down.
Be sure, before I forget, best way for people to connect with you, and I encourage folks, fellow agents, brokers, reach out to Brad Sanford and your team.
Just look for us at the Vikings game. Just reach over, say hi, Brian, Brad. The best way is to go to the MinnesotaRealEstateShow.com, or you can call me directly, 651-690-2076.
Yeah.
I see Brad going to a Vikings game and you got the kids. It's like, yeah, JJ's the man. I love Sammy D. And then he's got hey, contact us, Farmers Insurance. He's got the sign at the game.
There's an idea.
There's an idea.
Or JJ uses farmers for his insurance, or something like that.
Brad, we appreciate that. You do a wonderful job. Encourage all of our listeners to reach out to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're a good man.
Love being part of the team.
Yeah, Mike, great job, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ryan. Always a pleasure being here.
It's an honor to be with two former college stars, athletes here, and Mr. Ryan Perpich, who joins us every Saturday and has to deal with us in the WCCO studio. He's a good man.
Lucky.
Lucky indeed. We appreciate you, Ryan. It's been a fun show. Hope everybody has a great New Year's ahead. Reach out anytime. Thanks again. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Fun to be on CCL. Good work, you guys.
Yeah, we got to do a pro football talk.
Yeah,
podcast.
pro football
Right?
talk
Yeah.
will be fun. Actually, Scott would love that. Scott would absolutely love that. Yeah, he loves his NFL. And so we predicted. I said Vikes win. Detroit.
I'm saying Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah. It'll be Ryan. What do you think? Vikings or Detroit?
Vikings.
Oh,
Let's go here. Come
We got
on.
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
My father-in-law told me never bet with your heart.
Hey, a lot of
Advice
comments.
there.
I know we didn't get to everyone's comments, but thank you all for joining us. We try to get to any and all texts and comments that come in and stay on task as well. So appreciate you all listening. Enjoy the weekend and Happy New Year. We'll be back next week. Thanks.